The Pixel 11 just shipped with full 25-watt Qi 2.2 wireless charging built in, which means for the first time your Pixel snaps onto the same magnetic mounts as an iPhone. Problem is, most of these mounts are still built and marketed exclusively for iPhone, and a few of them flat out ignore Google phones on the spec sheet. I dug through the actual Amazon listings, not just the marketing photos, to find 7 that genuinely work as Qi2 car mounts, starting with the one that basically forgot your Pixel exists. Number 7 is the GuMosh Qi2 certified 15-watt MagSafe car mount charger. This is a straightforward vent and dash combo mount with a 36-month warranty, 360-degree rotation, and a magnetic ring rated at 1,600 grams of holding force, which is enough to keep a phone steady through normal city driving. It officially carries Qi2 certification for 15-watt charging, and the build itself looks fine in photos, with a sleek black housing and low-profile arm. Here's the issue. When you read the actual compatible phone models listed on the product page, it names iPhone 12 through 17 directly, iPhone 12 through 17 with a MagSafe case, and iPhone 12 through 17 with a magnetic ring. And that's it. Not Samsung, not Pixel, not Android with a magnetic case, nothing. Qi2 is technically an open standard that any phone can use, but GuMosh's own listing simply doesn't claim to support anything outside the iPhone lineup, which for a Pixel 11 owner means you'd be buying based on hope rather than a documented compatibility claim. Number 6 is the THREEKEY Qi2 certified magnetic car mount charger light. This one's a clever 2-in-1 design. You can leave it mounted in the vent as a 15-watt wireless charger, or pop the magnetic pad off and use it as a standalone holder when you don't need power. It runs on a zinc alloy bracket with a 3-axis metal joint, so the adjustment range is genuinely good for finding a viewing angle, and it's Qi2 certified for that 15-watt charging spec. The honest catch is buried in the bullet points themselves. THREEKEY's own listing states plainly that only iPhone 12 through 17 series support automatic magnetic alignment. That's not a buyer complaint. That's the manufacturer telling you up front that the magnetic snap and align feature, the entire point of a Qi2 mount, is an iPhone-only behavior on this unit. A Pixel 11 could theoretically still charge on the pad if you get it lined up manually, but you'd be fighting the design instead of working with it, which defeats the purpose of buying a magnetic mount in the first place. Number 5 is the Qi 2.2 magnetic car mount charger. This is a 25-watt option with a built-in cooling fan and LED light, which puts it ahead of the 2 previous entries on raw charging speed. It uses N52 neodymium magnets and a zinc alloy adjustable arm, and the whole thing is pitched as a universal fit for most vehicles. The spec sheet is detailed about charging tiers, with true 25-watt charging for iPhone 16 and 17, stepping down to 15 watts for iPhone 12 through 15. That's genuinely useful information to have up front. What it doesn't do anywhere in the listing is mention Android, Samsung, or Google phones at all, positive or negative. It's not an explicit exclusion like some other listings on this list, it's just silence, which makes it impossible to know from the product page alone whether a Pixel 11 gets the full 25 watts, a reduced rate, or nothing. Given how specific the iPhone numbers are, that omission reads more like the listing was written entirely with iPhone customers in mind, rather than a deliberate lockout, but it still leaves Pixel owners guessing. Before we get to the top half of this list, here's something worth knowing. The best mount isn't necessarily the one with the highest wattage number. For a Pixel 11, confirmed compatibility matters just as much as raw charging speed. Number 4 is the Belkin 15-watt MagSafe compatible wireless car charger vent mount. This is where the list starts naming your phone directly, instead of dancing around it. Right in the product title, Belkin lists this as Pixel 10 compatible, alongside the iPhone 17 through 13 lineup, and the specs back it up with a real tiered output of 15, 10, 7.5, and 5 watts depending on the device. It's built from aluminum alloy and ABS/PC plastic, and Belkin backs it with a 2-year warranty plus a $2,500 connected equipment warranty. Since the Pixel 11 uses the same Qi 2.2 magnetic hardware lineage as the Pixel 10 that's explicitly named here, there's a strong practical case this mount will behave the same way on your Pixel 11, though Belkin's page hasn't been updated with the Pixel 11 by name yet. So treat that as a reasonable inference rather than a confirmed Pixel 11 specification until Belkin updates the listing. Number 3 is the Belkin wireless car charger magnetic car dash mount. This is essentially the dashboard sibling to the previous entry, and it steps things up with a nicer build. It uses an aluminum alloy dash mount arm and again lists Pixel 10 directly in its compatibility copy, alongside Galaxy S25 and the current iPhone lineup. The output tiers are identical: 15, 10, 7.5, and 5 watts. So you're getting the same real-world charging ceiling as the vent version, just mounted to your dashboard instead of an air vent, which is worth choosing if your car's vents run hot from the defroster or don't grip well. It ships with a 27-watt power adapter and a 1-meter USB-C cable in the box, so there's no separate purchase needed to get it running. Like the vent version, the Pixel 11 isn't named yet simply because of timing, not because Belkin has any stated reason to exclude it. Number 2 is the ESR OmniLock Qi2.2 25-watt certified MagSafe car mount charger with Cryo Boost. This is the mount that finished at the top of CNN_'s independently tested rankings for car phone holders this year, beating out other options on hold strength, jostle resistance, and thermal performance. On paper, it's the strongest performer here. 25-watt Qi 2.2 certified charging, an aluminum vent hook with an over-tightening protection nut, and N52 magnets rated to hold steady through rough roads. Here's the catch that matters specifically for this list. This exact 25-watt OmniLock listing's compatibility section names iPhone 17 and 16 running iOS 26, plus Galaxy S26 Ultra. It does not name Pixel or Google anywhere in the spec copy, so you're getting an extremely strong mount with a higher charging ceiling, but ESR's own documentation doesn't confirm what charging speed your Pixel 11 will actually pull from it. Number 1. The strongest pick for a Pixel 11 specifically is the Mous wireless charging car vent clip with Qi2. Mous is the only brand on this list that names Google's Pixel Snap magnetic standard directly in its own official spec sheet, stating plainly that the built-in magnetic array supports Qi2, MagSafe, and Pixel Snap devices. That means your Pixel 11 isn't an assumed compatibility, it's a stated one from the manufacturer. It delivers 15 watts for Qi2-enabled phones through what Mous calls dual cool technology, an active cooling system designed to keep the charging coils cooler during sustained charging. The vent clip uses an adjustable thumbscrew that fits most horizontal and vertical vent slats, with non-slip silicone prongs to cut down on vibration, and it's priced at $69.99. The honest trade-off is wattage. This tops out at 15 watts, not 25, so if raw charging speed matters more to you than confirmed Pixel compatibility, the ESR OmniLock above technically has a higher ceiling. But for a video specifically about mounting and charging a Pixel 11, this is the one mount on the list that isn't leaving you to guess. So here's how I'd sort this by what you actually need. If you want the strongest mount with the highest charging ceiling, the ESR OmniLock 25-watt is the one to consider. Just go in knowing Pixel compatibility isn't spelled out on that specific listing. If you want the mount that was actually built with your Pixel 11 in mind, with Pixel Snap compatibility stated by the manufacturer, the Mous Qi2 vent clip is the one I'd pick. If you want a trusted mainstream option, the Belkin mounts are worth a look, while the lower-ranked GuMosh, THREEKEY, and XO models leave too many questions about Pixel compatibility. If this saved you from mounting an iPhone-only charger to your Pixel 11's dashboard, subscribe for more spec-checked buying guides like this one, and drop a comment telling me which of these you're actually considering. I read every single one. All the links are in the description.